School's sprawling, beautiful campus may be the envy of schools everywhere. But if you turn back the hands of time, Brentwood School consisted of a piece of land and a pioneering group of families determined to plant seeds for the future.
There were about 10 founding families. We wanted to start something on the west side that would be equal to a Harvard, now Westlake, Harvard, Westlake, and a Marlboro, and that's how Brentwood began.
It was one of the top military schools on the West Coast, and it was my choice. I wanted to go. And then when the school flipped over to be a co-ed school in 1972, that was a great change.
By far, our greatest challenge was the Homeowners Association. They literally had one mission in life, and that was to close Brentwood School. In desperation, we came up with an idea. We contacted all the parents in the school and said, you've got to join the Homeowners Association. And all of a sudden, they had about 300 members and announced at the meeting that if we were not able to reach a resolution, our first action would be to disband the whole Homeowners Association. We were able to reach a compromise. They agreed to cease any more action against the school.
We not only painted the bathrooms, we filled the library with books, we cleaned up the quad, we planted new grass.
The school was so small that your classes had students from different grades.
We were lab partners in chemistry.
That's
I'm
right.
not sure how.
It was really unprecedented that this little school sent 3, maybe 4 students to Stanford. A class of 40 students in 1978.
We were in the now infamous trailers. I remember catching lizards down there with my friends, running cross-country races, carrying a pile of wood from one side of the tennis court to the other side and back again as a little disciplinary exercise.
I broke my leg in 7th grade, and my memories are of just on crutches around those trailers and up and down stairs and stuff.
We had a science teacher. He had decided that it would be nice to have chickens around the school. Once one of them laid a leg in a kid's locker, and he slammed books in the locker, and the egg was all over the place.
I came here on August 1st, 1980, and the first day I sat in my office and thought to myself, Dave, what have you done? I looked around, and we didn't have a gym, we didn't have a theater, and I left this beautiful Stanford campus. And by the second day, I got so busy that I never looked back.
The physical plant was not particularly spiffly. Our office was 2 chairs and 2 sawhorses and an old door that was splintered, that was way too high. And so it showed us sitting here with our arms up like this, grading papers.
There was Mr. Krause who blew up a trailer. That was a really good one. I did do a lot of theater performing and performed in the cafeteria where we slipped all over things because there was Coke on the floor.
I didn't have scheduled classes. Each semester I would have to go into study hall and try to recruit kids into my art classes.
The only athletic field we had was a little field as you drive in and see. There were no indoor athletic facilities. We played all our basketball games and volleyball games over at Harvard in their old gym, their old wooden gym.
We often practiced outside. If the weather turned sour and we knew it was going to be bad a particular week, then we had to go fishing for gymnasiums, and then we'd start practice at like 7 o'clock at night and not get done till 8:30 or 9.
Part of my memory of playing volleyball was being on that van with everybody, and I do have strong memories of that gym.
Well, there was sort of one crisis after the next, The gymnasium lower middle school building was a tilt-up building. The field was covered with frames and poured with cement. Shortly after the cement was poured, we had a 50-year storm in Los Angeles. And Sunset became a lake and overflowed right down onto the field and brought all the mud and muck all over the frames of the gym. And the inside was permanently stained from the mud.
We had a really rainy winter, and there really was no place except the cafeteria, which was already packed. So kids who had brought their lunches came down to my room, which was nice. It flooded so much in the North Quad one year that I'm sure the students got the idea for planting some live ducks in that little lake in the North Quad, which they did for senior prank.
Even though Brentwood now has all the amenities and facilities of a college campus, that pioneer spirit still resonates today.
To watch the buildings go up and watch this school turn into, one of the, premier schools in Los Angeles has been pretty remarkable. I think there really was the feeling there that we knew we were part of something that was going to grow into something pretty special.
I think we caught the tail end of the Lord of the Flies era of education. I think it taught us to not have a sense of entitlement and to be flexible and not take things for granted.
We didn't have this reputation we have today. So in a way, we were selling a place on an emotional level of the fact that it was a real community with heart, and we didn't have the facilities that maybe some people would be looking for. But the people who really got it, I think, decided to come here.
I don't know where the magic comes from. I don't know if it's the admissions and we just keep admitting just generally nice kids that are willing to be nice to one another, but there definitely is a different feel here.
37 years ago in some ways seems like yesterday. The school was smaller, not as elegant and fancy, but I think the heart of the school hasn't changed a bit. The kinds of relationships that we as teachers have with our students haven't changed at all. And that's why I'm here all these years later.